there was
Hey guys,
one
what's up?
part,
It's
and it was in the
64 here,
unrated
and we're
version,
in
there
the
was
dark
one
and
part that I
mysterious
liked,
place
because I
again.
actually thought
The
it was
other
funny.
side of my couch.
But one part
Too much
isn't
sunlight
going to
coming
save
on
it.
that
I am
side, so I'm
sorry,
moving to the
but
other side. But
who directed
as
this?
2015
Sean
is
Levy?
coming to a
Try
close, I thought that I
harder,
should do a
please.
video.
And my
on
number one
the
worst
best
movie
and
is
worst
Dark
movies
Summer.
that I saw
It was a
in
movie that was made this year.
2015. Now, I did.
Dark
now,
Summer was
like,
this
last
movie
year was
that
a
I saw
top
on
10,
Netflix because
I didn't see
plot
as
seemed
many
interesting,
good
but
movies that year.
of course,
I
the
saw
filmmakers
so many
had to
good
screw it
movies
up
this
by
year that
making
I'm
the
putting it
movie
into a
so
top 20
freaking
list.
boring.
There's 20.
The plot sounds pretty good,
best
actually.
movies.
I thought
There's
it's a
two
unique plot.
worst
Basically,
ones,
the movie's about
like the two bad
this
ones.
teenager. He gets locked in. He gets placed under
And
house
there's a couple
arrest
of
for
honorable
stalking
mentions
somebody online.
for the best list. I'm gonna
And then he starts weird stuff starts to
show
happen
as well.
It's not as interesting.
Now the one thing is,
the movie's not as interesting as the plot.
as I said last year,
this is a list of the best movies. It was so boring. There were
saw
three
this
good
year.
sequences
Not a list
that I
of the
thought
best
was pretty
movies
cool,
that came out in 2015.
but that isn't going to save it.
Because
from
if it was
being
just on
bad.
2015, I would have
Like,
to.
it was
I'd
just
probably,
awful. Don't bother with it.
Like I
now
probably
on to
only
the
have
best
10.
movies. So number 20 for the best movies I saw in 2015. Now, unless I say that they weren't this year, then they're this year. Number 20 is Kingsman: The Secret Service. Now, I hadn't even heard of this movie when I saw it. Like, my mom just said, we're going to see the movie. I was like, what? I haven't even heard of that movie. Because I didn't even see any commercials for it. So me and my mom went and saw it. And I put it as number 20 on my list because, yeah, it was definitely a good movie, but it's a little bit long. It's not too long. It's 2 hours, 8 minutes, but it was a good movie, but when the action wasn't happening, I was getting bored. Like, I would say the action takes up about 2/3 of the movie, and then the boring stuff is like 1/3 of the movie. Like, when the action was happening, I was very entertained, but when it wasn't happening, I was bored. But I put it number 20 on my list because I really liked the action parts in it. Number 19, I know I'm going to get some really funny looks for this, was Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Now, let me just say, this 2015 was the year for sequels. Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, Ted 2, Hot Tub Time Machine 2, Pitch Perfect 2. And most of them probably aren't even going to have a third movie. So, but yeah, so Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, I know I'm going to get some funny looks for that because it was a very hated movie. The reason why I put this as number 19 on my list was because, yeah, I liked it. Like, it wasn't... I liked it. I'm not going to lie here. I liked it. I thought it was good. It wasn't hilarious, but it wasn't awful either. It was pretty good. The reason why I put this as number 19 on my list is because, it reminded me of those movies when I would watch as a kid, where there's, a heist going on, and then, some kid or adult has to try and stop it. It reminded me a lot of those movies that I saw when I was little, so it brought back some really good memories for me, and that's why I put it as number 19. Number 18 is Unfriended. Now, I was pretty disappointed with this movie, but that doesn't mean I don't like it. The trailer made it look like, oh my god, this is going to be, the scariest movie I've ever seen. Yeah, well, the thing is, Unfriended was the very first horror movie I ever saw in theaters, with the second one being The Visit. And I was gonna see, Krampus, but, with my friend Killerbot Films, but we couldn't figure out a way to we didn't have a way to get to the theater, so we couldn't see it, unfortunately. But, Unfriended was a little bit disappointing. I know, it wasn't awful. I liked it because, there were, it's not scary. There were 4 jump scares in the entire movie, and they were only really scary to me because of the loud noise in the theater. But nevertheless, even though I was pretty disappointed with it, I still found it very entertaining to watch, and that's why I put it at number 18. Number 17 is Smosh the movie. Now, when I first heard that Smosh was actually making a full-length feature movie, not the direct-to-iTunes Smosh As If It Were Real saga, I don't hate that. that was okay, the Smosh As If It Were Real saga. It was good. But it's just direct-to-iTunes. It's kind of not even really a movie, but when I heard that Smosh was making like a real full-length feature movie, I was so excited. Like, Smosh gave me laughter throughout my entire 4th and 5th grade year, and even some of grade 6, but when I got to grade 7, I kind of stopped watching them because they weren't as good as they were in the past. But, anyway, Smosh the movie. Now, honestly, like, and my friend, Adrian, he made a really good point about the movie. Well, we hadn't seen it yet because it hadn't come out yet. But we, went to, like, it was me, like, we were at a birthday party. It was me, Slender Mender, Killerbot Films, Malcolm I, and our friend Adrian. Adrian doesn't have a YouTube channel, so I'm just gonna call him that. But Adrian made a really good point. He said a lot of the times when YouTubers make movies, they're never very good. And he said, like, look at the Shane Dawson movie, which I have not seen, not cool, so I can't judge that. But I said, he does kind of have a point there. Like, I can see why people wouldn't like him. He said, like, the Fred movies. I actually like the Fred movies because I've grown up with Fred, so I still like him to this day. But Smosh the movie I was pleasantly surprised with. It wasn't as great as I expected it to be, but it was funny. And it's one of the better YouTube movies. Like, it is definitely one of the better YouTube movies, and what I really liked was Michael Ian Black, who you probably won't know who he is. He played McKinley in Wet Hot American Summer. He's in this movie as Steve YouTube, I think was his name. I love that he was in it because I really liked his character in it. I thought he was pretty funny, but yeah, so I thought that was actually I thought it was one of the better YouTube movies. Number 16 is Sex Drive. Now, this was not this year. This was 2008. Now, I just got this for Christmas, like, about a week ago. Sorry about that, you guys. My recording stopped, but anyway. Continuing on, I didn't see this movie for, like, the full experience, because I saw it on TV. I taped it, and I saw it on TV, which so much stuff was cut from this movie that it was unreal. Like, I saw, like, the movie, like, fully, like, the actual, like, it's the rated version. I started the unrated version, but then the director actually said at the beginning, if you've not seen the real movie before for real, don't watch this version first. But, yeah, so, like, I saw this movie, like, fully, like, a couple days ago, and, like, the version I saw on TV was, like, they on TV, they cut out, like, a 6-minute partying scene, and in fact, like, when they cut out the TV version that I saw, they cut out, like, 2 characters completely, like, the 2 supporting characters, like, those 2 weird guys that, like, hit on every girl. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean, but those 2 guys that, like, hit on every girl, in the TV version, you don't even see them until the very end. Not kidding. Like, you don't see them until the very end in the edited for TV version that I saw. Because, like, they basically cut them out of every single scene in the TV version except for the end, which I can get why. I mean, this movie has a lot of, like, sexual content and swearing in it. Like, and even with all the edits to it, they still made it, like, 14A. I mean, TV 14. So, like, they could have put it PG with all the stuff they cut out, but then again, the subject matter, I understand. But Sex Drive actually really surprised me. I knew that it had a Seth Green in it. There he is right there. Yeah, he plays an Amish. If you don't know who Seth Green is, he's Chris in Family Guy. And I think like Seth Green, he's Chris in Family Guy, and he was also in the movie It when he was a kid. Well, not a kid, but more like a teenager, but yeah, this movie actually really surprised me. It's like one of those road trip movies that gets, like, funnier as they progress through the trip. And that's why I really like this movie, because I'm just kind of a sucker for those kinds of movies. Like, I just found this movie very, very funny. And, like, it's definitely not for everybody, because I know a lot of people are going to find this movie's humor quite dumb. But I like it. Anyways, number 15 is Wet Hot American Summer. Now, unlike a lot of people, I did not see the movie first. I saw the Netflix original show first. And the show, I thought, was great. I loved it. The thing is, Um, this was basically like, I remember like I didn't think the movie was actually on Netflix until my friend Killerbot Films told me it was. So I watched it and I was really surprised with this. And also since I watched the show first, then the movie, I was like, oh, that explains that. They did that in the show. That's why that is like that. That it like basically reminded me of that. I was like, oh yeah, they did that as well. Now, this movie was not very well known at all. Like, no one. Like, apparently, I heard it earned less than $300,000 during its theatrical release in 2001. Like, nowadays, it's become more of a cult film, but it wasn't like that before. It's basically just a movie that no one really knew about because it wasn't too many people that knew of it. Like, I mean, like, not too many known people that were in it. Like, a lot of the people that were just starting out, like, this was the movie that started a lot of them, like, Paul Rudd, Elizabeth Banks, Bradley Cooper, yeah, like, people that were, like, starting out, like, they were in this movie. Like, I think the only three known people were Amy Poehler, David Hyde Pierce, and Molly Shannon, because Molly Shannon and Amy Poehler did SNL before this, and David Hyde Pierce was in the show Frasier before this. But, yeah, this was actually, like, it was a very fun summer camp movie that I just loved. It was great. I just loved it so much. Like, it was very, very good. And, like, I plan to watch it every summer because, like, I love movies that take place at, like, summer camps. Because, like, they're always fun to watch, like, during the summer. Now, number 14, and 15, this was not in 2015, this was 2001, as I've said before. Now, number 14, also not one that wasn't in 2015, is, Kick-Ass. This was in 2010. Now, I got this movie from HMV, and I had never seen it before. I had always wanted to see it when I was not little, because when I was younger, when this first came out, I wanted to see it, but I wasn't allowed to, because I was too young. But, like, I really like this movie. Like, I haven't seen too many action comedies, but the ones I have seen are great. Like, I just, like, the action and the comedy in this movie blend so well, especially the comedy. Like, there's some moments that you will not expect that will have you in stitches. Like, there's one part, which I'm not going to say, that literally had me laughing for, like, I think, like, a minute and a half straight because it was so funny, because it was so unexpected. And I just thought it was so funny. But, yeah, so this is actually a pretty good action comedy. Like, I have not seen Kick-Ass 2, but from what I've heard, it's definitely not as good as this one. But this is a very great movie, and I highly recommend you should see it. Now, I'm actually going to stop now because, like, I feel that, like, it's over the 15-minute limit. I will see you guys in part 2.